2:45 a.m. November 20th, 2025. 65 nautical miles southeast of Florida's coast. 12-foot seas hammer the hull. Wind screams at 35 knots. Rain hammers the bridge. The USCGC James cuts through churning black water. Somewhere out there, moving toward US waters, a cargo vessel with no transponder, no lights, running dark and silent. Intelligence is clear: 3.2 tons of cocaine. Street value, $112 million. But there's a problem. A Venezuelan Navy patrol boat is shadowing the target. Captain Mario Rodriguez stands at the tactical display, studying the radar feed. 2 contacts moving northeast at 18 knots. Contact Alpha registers as a suspected drug vessel, 60 feet in length. Cargo ship without transponder or lights. Contact Bravo appears as a Venezuelan patrol boat, 125 feet. Confirmed military. Rodriguez narrows his eyes at the screen. This operation just became complicated. The storm intensifies. Visibility drops to half a mile. Rain reduces the world to gray sheets. The James surges forward, engines roaring against the Atlantic. Rodriguez grabs binoculars through the rain and spray. The thermal imaging feed shows him what he needs. Zoomed in on the cargo ship's bridge. Advanced optics reveal a face. The helmsman. Facial recognition software activates. 30 seconds later, the computer confirms a match. Jose Ramirez, former Venezuelan Navy petty officer, 2nd class, deserted 6 months ago, last known location, Margarita Island. Rodriguez's expression hardens. A deserter pilots a cargo ship under Venezuelan military escort. This isn't standard cartel operation. The implication cuts deep. The Venezuelan military isn't just protecting drug runners, they're supplying trained personnel to run the operation. They know exactly who's commanding these vessels. This goes higher than smugglers. This is state involvement. The deserter file appears on the tactical display. Ramirez served 8 years as a navigation specialist before going AWOL. 8 years of training, tactical experience, knowledge of military patrol routes. All of it now working for Tren de Aragua, one of Venezuela's most dangerous criminal organizations. His presence aboard that cargo ship proves the Venezuelan military is not merely protecting cartel operations, they're actively participating in drug trafficking for profit. Rodriguez makes the decision instantly. Tactical intercept is ordered. No warnings, no time for cargo disposal or escape. A fast strike before the Venezuelan escort can react, or the smugglers can throw the drugs overboard. The Coast Guard cutter James accelerates to 24 knots, closing the distance to 700 yards. Below deck, the boarding team gears up in controlled chaos. Body armor, helmets, M4 rifles, ammunition magazines, equipment checks, communications, gear. These 10 sailors are about to board a cargo vessel in violent seas while a Venezuelan military patrol boat, armed with twin 14.5mm machine guns, watches from 350 yards away. One mistake and this becomes a shooting war. The tactical display outlines the balance of power clearly. The cutter carries a .50 caliber weapon, a 57mm gun, and small arms. The Venezuelan vessel mounts heavy machine guns and potentially missiles. Its smaller hull suffers harder under the storm swells. Speed and surprise are the only advantages. Rodriguez increases speed to 24 knots, cutting through waves that crash over the bow. Spray explodes 40 feet into the air, the engines thunder, the hull shudders. Every sailor feels the tension now. On the Venezuelan patrol boat, officers watch the radar. They see the James moving at combat speed. They recognize the intercept course. They claim lawful commerce, declare protection of the suspected vessel, threaten hostile response. Rodriguez logs the threat. Battle stations are ordered. Weapons remain tight unless fired upon. The situation is recorded, documented, witnessed. Every move becomes evidence. The boarding team is instructed to move fast and silent. The bridge is the primary target. Ramirez must be secured before alerting the escort or destroying evidence. Rough seas and foreign military presence heighten the risk exponentially. At 3:18 a.m., the James pulls alongside. 350 yard separation. The Venezuelan boat mirrors position on the opposite side. The cargo ship attempts maneuvering away, but its bulk is too slow, too heavy, riding too low in the water from the cocaine inside its hull. Launch command is given. The rigid hull, inflatable RHIB crashes into the storm. 10 sailors aboard. Engines screaming against the sea. Waves swallow the small craft into troughs, then hurl it skyward over crests. Spray drenches every man. They cannot hear each other over engine noise and wind. They communicate through gestures, nods, muscle memory, training. Distance collapses rapidly. 200 yards, 100 yards. The cargo ship tries to accelerate, but resistance from the churning water and its own weight makes escape impossible. The RHIB claws alongside. Grappling hooks fly. Lines secure against rusted steel hull. On the Venezuelan patrol boat, sailors man heavy machine guns, barrels tracking the Americans. Every eye watches through gun sights. One wrong move, one perceived threat, and this becomes armed conflict between US and Venezuelan military in international waters. But the sailors don't hesitate. Training overrides fear. They secure the lines. They move, they board. The cargo ship is secured. Rodriguez watches the radar, watches the thermal feed, watches the Venezuelan patrol boat hold formation but not advance. The boarding team floods the deck. They encounter minimal resistance. The crew knows they're caught. The drug ship is theirs. 3.2 tons of cocaine documented. 146 bales counted and logged. 8 suspects are in custody. Hands flex cuffed, secured to the rail, sitting in the rain. The vessel is prepared for tow. The Venezuelan patrol boat maintains position, but it does not engage. Minutes pass. Then the patrol boat withdraws, returning to Venezuelan waters. The threat is over. But the mission is not finished. Rodriguez understands what just happened. His forces intercepted a cargo vessel directly escorted by a foreign military vessel. The Venezuelan Navy did not engage, but they made their presence known. They protected the smugglers until the final moment. They witnessed the boarding. They retreated only because they lacked the mandate to start an international incident. But the message from Caracas is clear. Venezuela is protecting these shipments. Venezuela is profiting from narcotics trafficking. The boarding team returns to the James with no injuries. The drug vessel is under tow. Documentation begins immediately. Video, photographs, logs, timestamps, witness statements. Because denial is certain, proof is essential, the event is unprecedented. A foreign military escorted a drug ship, threatened US forces, then retreated. This has never happened in documented Coast Guard history. The evidence must be overwhelming. By sunrise, the record is undeniable. Radar tracks show the Venezuelan patrol boat alongside the drug ship for 35 nautical miles. Audio captures the Venezuelan captain issuing threats against US forces. Video records Venezuelan sailors manning guns during the boarding operation. Testimony from smugglers confirms payment of $400,000 to the Venezuelan Navy for escort protection. Money traced directly to Tren de Aragua. Cocaine bales bear the cartel's distinctive markings, the train engine logo of a transnational trafficking organization operating from Venezuela to the United States. This is not accident. This is not coincidence. This is policy. The James arrives in Miami at 13 hours. Cocaine offloaded, 3.2 tons, 146 bales. All documented, tested, confirmed. Street value $112 million removed from circulation because 10 sailors climbed aboard a drug ship in a storm while foreign guns pointed at them. Suspects transferred to DEA custody. They're talking now, naming cartel connections, confirming this was a Tren de Aragua operation. Venezuelan military officers on the gang's payroll, officers receiving direct payments from narcotics traffickers, officers willing to threaten US forces to protect smugglers. Evidence is compiled and sent to Washington, State Department, Pentagon, DEA. The message travels upward through channels. Venezuela isn't just tolerating trafficking. Venezuela is facilitating it for profit. Response comes within 24 hours. Pentagon statement released November 21st. Quote, US naval forces interdicted a vessel carrying 3.2 tons of cocaine. Venezuelan military threatened US personnel and obstructed law enforcement operations. We have documented evidence of Venezuelan military complicity in narcotics trafficking. This is unacceptable and will have consequences. Unquote. State Department follows. Quote, the United States has irrefutable evidence Venezuelan military is aiding the transnational criminal organization Tren de Aragua. We are imposing additional sanctions on officials involved, coordinating with international partners to hold Venezuela accountable." Unquote. Venezuela's denial comes swift. Foreign minister claims U.S. fabricated evidence. Patrol boat was routine operations. U.S. committed piracy in Venezuelan waters. Nobody believes them. The evidence is overwhelming. Radar, audio, video, testimony. This isn't just one drug bust. This is about what happens when governments go corrupt. When states collapse under pressure and turn to criminal organizations for revenue, Venezuela is collapsing. Hyperinflation erodes currency daily. Food shortages create hunger. Millions are fleeing the country. The government is desperate for money. Tren de Aragua has billions. The deal is simple. The cartel pays Venezuelan military units directly to protect their shipments. Everyone profits. Except people dying from cocaine in American cities. This is narco-terrorism, state-sponsored trafficking, criminal organizations using government protection to operate. The U.S. Coast Guard and Navy are the front line stopping it. Every year, U.S. forces seize hundreds of tons of cocaine, thousands of arrests, billions in drugs prevented from reaching streets. They do it in hurricanes, middle of night, facing armed resistance, confronting foreign militaries, because every bale stopped is lives saved. November 20th, saved lives. $112 million of cocaine. Millions of doses never manufactured, never sold, never consumed. More importantly, it exposed Venezuelan military corruption to the world, documented complicity, proved involvement, created undeniable evidence, sent a message: cartels can run drugs. They can pay for protection, they can threaten our forces, but we will intercept, we will arrest. We will take your drugs in storms with foreign warships watching, because this is what the US Navy and Coast Guard do. Semper Paratus, always ready. The USCGC James returned to patrol 3 days later, same waters, same mission, more intelligence on Venezuelan movements, 8 smugglers facing decades in federal prison. Investigators confirmed they were low-level Tren de Aragua members. Total cocaine destroyed. Evidence filed. Venezuela quiet? No more escorts? No more threats? Not yet, but somewhere in the Caribbean right now, another cargo ship is loading cocaine. Tren de Aragua is planning the next shipment. Another cartel paying Venezuelan military for protection, another drug shipment heading toward the US, and another US Coast Guard cutter is hunting in storms and darkness against threats, foreign and criminal. Because that's the mission. Stop drugs, save lives. Face whatever comes, even Venezuelan warships. 10 sailors in a storm stopped $112 million of cocaine. Venezuela tried stopping them. Venezuela failed. Subscribe to watch more US Coast Guard and Navy operations.